Hey, welcome in, welcome in. I'm just going to be base painting the model with this dark purple. I'll be making sure I get it into all of the shadows and recessed areas, but I'll also be spraying it from above as well. I'll just be using a Screamer Pink as a zenithal. Just making sure not to cover up the shadows. And yeah, just spraying from above. We're just slowly building up the layers and giving the model some nice contrast. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool already. And just so you can see, all the shadows are still there. And I'll just be adding this Mephiston red. I'll be spraying this also from a zenithal perspective. I'll be aiming to where I'd like to place the colour, and yeah, just being careful not to cover up my previous layers. But yeah, it's important to do your best to try and leave the previous layers and just build up the contrast gradually, and that'll give your model the most impact. I'd usually use corn red in the previous step, but I decided to give the Screamer Pink a go. And yeah, I just thought it would be cool just to try and build up the shadows from that, and just to see how the model looks. Yeah, as you could see just a minute ago, I was having a little bit of a fight with the airbrush, just where I've got a bit of a dry tip on it. But yeah, we just rub the dry paint off the end of the tip and then give it a spray to the side, and then yeah, carry on. Usually when that happens, it's usually an indication that I just need to thin the paint a little bit more. But yeah, it is okay as well, just if you do catch it, just to wipe off the tip and carry on. But yeah, I'm already really happy with the way the contrast looks with the different layers. With that dark purple, the Screamer Pink, and then the Mephiston red on top. Yeah, it's looking like a really good colour combination. So yeah, I'm quite pleased I decided to do that. Yeah, just giving you a look at the model to see how it should look at this stage. You know, how I'd like it to look at this stage anyway. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm really pleased with how it looks already. Yeah, cool colour combinations there. And I'm just going to brighten up the red slightly with this bottle red. Again, I'll be very careful not to cover up my previous layers, and I'll be specifically spraying it in locations where I want the model to be brighter. But yeah, as you can see, just building up a couple of spots, and yeah, just bringing it up all the way to the brightest red. But yeah, also just important to remember whilst you're working on a model like this, just spray in one area and then let that dry, and whilst that's drying just move on to a different area. Yeah, and here he is with just the extra couple of spot highlights on him. Yeah, as you can see, all the shadows and layers are still there, and they've all built up a nice contrast on the model. I'm just going to be using the Vallejo Black Primer, and I'll just be using this on the Juggernaut. One of the reasons I didn't bother masking off the Juggernaut or anything is just I find it if you just paint the model this on top first, and then you can just aim past it, apply the primer to the part below, and yeah, and you can start again on the Juggernaut. I'm just going to be using the Balthasar Gold just to do all of his armour trim. There's quite a bit of trim on this model, so just take your time and enjoy the process. Although saying that, the Lord Invocatus has got some nice thick trim, so it's not as stressful as doing some of the older models, or say like in Chaos Space Marines. But yeah, it's quite a nice armour trim to paint. Yeah, this is a really nice model to paint. I'm really impressed with some of their new casts. And yeah, I really do like this one, and I built up previously just the regular Lord on Juggernaut, and that was also a lot of fun to paint. That's also on the channel, so if you want to check that one out. I do paint them slightly differently, and I do the Juggernaut as a burgundy colour. I'll just be painting all the silver parts of this lead belcher. So yeah, I've currently finished painting the Khorne Combat Patrol now, and I decided to get the Lord Invocatus just because I'd enjoy painting him, but also I thought it would be nice if you had the choice if you wanted to build the Lord on Juggernaut or the Lord Invocatus. You've got a painting video for either one. But yeah, I did enjoy building and painting the Khorne Combat Patrol. I think it was just a really nice starter army. It's pretty cool now that you've got the Combat Patrol rules as well. But yeah, it's a nice way to get into the hobby. Also, if you're already in the hobby and you're thinking about picking up an airbrush, I've just finished making a video about that, and I'll be uploading that to the channel soon as well. But yeah, just some general information about the pricing and the difference between if you get sort of one of the cheaper or Chinese airbrushes compared to if you get one of the sort of European and more expensive ones. But yeah, model's looking pretty cool. I'm really happy with them already. And yeah, just so far it's just been a really nice model to paint. I'm just going to be using this matte black to go over all the pipes and hoses on him. And I'll also just be colouring his hair back in black with this one as well. Yeah, just really enjoying painting the Khorne models. I really do enjoy painting red. There's a lot of different experimentation you can do with it. And yeah, it's just like, just really enjoy painting them. I am glad that they decided to update the models, and yeah, the Combat Patrol was nice to paint. It does seem a bit daunting with the Khorne Berserkers. There is 20 of them. So it's hard to spend as much time on each individual one. At the same time, you can still get them to a good standard and paint them quickly. I'm just going to be using this Mephiston red just to bring up some of the highlights on his head. Yeah, just make sure to thin your paints. Use as thin paint as you can. And yeah, I'm just gently bringing up the highlights along his head and just sort of blending into the horn a bit more. Yeah, just making him pop and look as cool as we can get him. Yeah, I was a bit in the middle of what to do with his horns. I see that the Games Workshop decided to do him, it looks like, with actual like bone coloured horns. But the way I've sprayed the model and the way that the purple, the Screamer pink and the Mephiston red sort of blended, I thought that looked really cool, so I just thought I'd enhance that. I did paint Khan the Betrayer, and on his like helmet horns I decided to go the opposite way. So on the box art, Khan the Betrayer's horns are like how I'm doing his horns now, but I decided for me it would look cooler if the skulls that was embedded in were skull coloured. Again, just going to be using this Wild Rider red just to bring up some of the highlights on his head and just get the horns popping a bit more as well. When highlighting red with this Wild Rider red, just be careful not to overdo it because it is quite an orangey colour, and overdoing this can make the model look orange overall, which isn't what we want. So yeah, just be reserved with it, and yeah, just pick some nice areas just to bring out with it. And just going over some of his horns with the Screamer pink. Again, just trying to highlight it and get them popping. And yeah, I'm not trying to change the colour of them, but yeah, just bring some subtle edge highlights. And yeah, just a bit of extra pop for that. I was lucky enough to pick up the Wild Eaters Exalted of the Red Angel, so I will have an Angron tutorial coming up, and also the Exalted 8-bound and 8-bound. There's also 10 Khorne Berserkers in there as well. I'll be painting those up to a slightly higher standard as there's only 10, and also I'll be trying some slightly different colours. I'm just using the Balthazar Gold. I decided I'd put some on the skull decorations on his backpack just to sort of break up the colours a bit and just, yeah, let it stick out and be its own thing. I'm just going to be using this lead belcher just to go over some of the parts on his axe. I'll just be going over his trim, and yeah, just picking out the edges, adding some scratches and textures to it, and yeah, just bringing it out and yeah, making it pop and shine. And I'll just be doing the same thing with this brighter silver, just going over some of the silver parts and yeah, just to add a bit of texture, get some scratches in, and yeah, just get it to shine. I'll just be going over the skulls with this Ubshanti bone and also his axe handle. Usually I would have the axe handle as black, but I was just looking at the box art and I was thinking, yeah, that would be pretty cool actually if I had the axe handle as the ivory sort of colour, and also on his headband. And yeah, just sort of break up the colours a bit more, and yeah, just help the parts stand out. Going to be shading it with this Agarax Earth shade. And yeah, just getting it all to sink into the recesses, and yeah, just define the wrapping on it a bit more. Yeah, I'm just going to be bringing up some of the highlights on the skulls and also his axe handle and hairband with this with the screaming skull. But yeah, just on the skulls there, I'm just sort of picking out the main sort of base features of it and just adding a bit of the texture onto the top and sides of it. These are the colours I'll be using for his skin. Unfortunately, the footage for that is corrupted, but if you check out any of my other videos, I do the skin in a similar way. So yeah, I'm just taking this white Vallejo primer, and I'll just be going over all of his symbols on the Juggernaut. And yeah, I'll just be trying to do similar to the box art, but yeah, just really make them pop and look proper fiery. So yeah, just when you're doing this white part, just make sure you bring it all the way up to white and don't leave it sort of like greyish and not give it enough layers. But yeah, just build it up so definitely the centre of the symbols are just pure white. But yeah, we're going to have lots of fun on this model. We're going to be doing some cool OSL. And yeah, just making it look proper fiery and just, yeah, just really stick out and look cool. And yeah, it should be really poppin', so yeah, exciting. Yeah, just giving you a look so you can see where I've put the white so far. But yeah, if you've never tried this before, it's really fun. And yeah, it's probably not as difficult as what you might think if you've never done it before. But yeah, I'm just going to walk you through it and yeah, show you how to get it super bright. Yeah, I'm just going to go over all of the white areas with this Imperial Fist. It's a super nice yellow. It is proper bright when sprayed over white. So yeah, it's just really nice colour to use. But yeah, you can see already, like, it's pretty blinding. So yeah, really cool. Yeah, you can probably see why we put the white on first before spraying yellow. Yellow doesn't really sit very well on top of any other colour, and it does tend to go green over most colours. So yeah, just making sure you've got the nice solid white base on for it, and just yeah, really help it pop and stick out. And we'll just be going over it with the orange. And yeah, I won't be spraying this into the centre of it, but we're just trying to shape around the edges of the symbols. But yeah, just leaving the yellow just sort of in the centre. But yeah, just trying to gently just build a gradient between the orange and the yellow. And yeah, just gradually building it up. So the idea is we're making it darker around, like away from the center. So having the center as the brightest and gradually fading, getting darker as we move away from it. And yeah, that will just really help make it look like the glow is coming from inside. So yeah, even just already it's looking really cool. Yeah, again, if this is the first time you've had a go at OSL, this is a really nice model to try it on. And we're using super thin paints, so even if you go too far or you feel like, oh no, like I want to start again, like don't worry about it, just paint over the Juggernaut black and then yeah, just give it another try. You could also, you don't have to have the Lord Invocatus glued in place. You could sort of maneuver it so you can have the models separate. So yeah, if you wanted to do, you know, paint the Lord Invocatus to completion like I have, but you sort of want to experiment on the Juggernaut with the OSL, like that would be a safer way to do it. But yeah, I like built him and put him on there because I'm sort of gonna, where I've done OSLs before, I like having a bit of the light hit off the model as well. So yeah, they both look more incorporated and not separate. But yeah, just have fun with it and yeah, try not to worry. But yeah, even just so far we've got the white, completely covered it with the yellow and adding the orange. It's looking really cool already. So yeah, I really do love this technique. And yeah, it's just all about contrast. And yeah, just slowly building up the layers, which is what an airbrush and the contrast paints are really handy for. Yeah, we're just going to a slightly darker orange now, going for the Troll Slayer, and we're going to be dry brushing. So with this, we're just going to be trying to catch all the raised areas, and yeah, we're sort of like dimming down like all of the trim and just away from the center. We're still going to be catching some of this orange near the center, but just making sure that all the yellow is left in the deepest recesses. And yeah, this will all help really give the impression of the light source. But again, just go slowly, gradually build up the layers. Like I was saying a minute ago about leaving the Lord Invocatus on, so I'm just making sure like I catch him with a dry brush, just to help sell the light reflection. And yeah, just that they're all, like the model's all one thing, not two separate pieces. But yeah, again, if you are nervous and you just wanted to try the OSL just on a Juggernaut, you know, feel free to paint them separately and just experiment on him, and then yeah, you can add them back in later. Or you could even, you know, successfully do the OSL on the Juggernaut separately and then spray it black and then start again with the, once you've attached the Lord Invocatus. But yeah, it's just all about experimenting, having fun. But yeah, definitely don't be afraid. You're not gonna spoil the model by doing too many layers, because yeah, we are just using super thin paints. But yeah, lots of fun, and yeah, already it's really starting to pop and come through. I'm really pleased with how it's come out. yeah, just when you're dry brushing, as you can see from my thumb there, just before applying the brush to the model, I do test it on my thumb first, or just anywhere on your hand. Or I suppose you could try it on a piece of paper or something else. But yeah, just yeah, try it out before applying it to the model, just to make sure you get the result you actually want. Yeah, I'm just darkening it up with the corn red. So yeah, just again, just getting gradually further and further away from the centre. And yeah, this will all help just bring the contrast and just make the centre look even more like it's glowing. Yeah, even just with the few layers we've done, it's already like popping and looking super bright. But yeah, I'm just trying to sort of control it, get more brightness out of it, and yeah, just really selling the OSL effect. But yeah, it's just a really fun effect to do, and you can always just take this colour combination and apply it to a different model. So yeah, even if you just wanted to try this and you wanted to try it on a different model, yeah, go for that, all good fun. But yeah, you can see just as we've darkened up the outside, it's really, yeah, sort of homed in on the yellow being super bright, and you can see like it fading out into the oranges. And yeah, we're just going to take it to the sort of the next level and just add black to it. So yeah, this will really help center the glow, and yeah, just make the glow that's there look even brighter. But yeah, don't rush through the stages, take your time. Once you've added a bit, just, you know, evaluate, see if it needs more, move on to a different area, and then you can come back and check it once your eye's adjusted. And yeah, it's so cool, really like this effect. And yeah, just it's a lot easier than what you think, like it looks super impressive. But yeah, once you've done it a few times, like you realise actually it's not that bad to do, and it is actually a lot of fun. But yeah, super pleased with how it's come out. I'm just going to be using this Agrak Surf shade, and basically what I'll be doing is sort of aiming it at the sort of like the, not layer lines, but just where the colours sort of meet, and this will just help sort of blend the colours together and minimise being able to see any of the transitions. And yeah, just help darken up some of the areas where I've oversprayed with some of the brighter colours. And yeah, again, just helps focus the brightness back into the symbols. Yeah, the Agrak Surf shade's a really good colour to use because it does contain all of the colours we've used. So yeah, it's a really good tool for blending like this flame effect. So yeah, as you can see, it's just brought all the transitions nice, and yeah, just helped focus again, all of the brightness coming from the inside of the symbols. I'm just going to be using this Troll Slayer Orange and my Winsor Newton 00 brush. That is a step you could skip, and unfortunately the footage of me doing that got corrupted, but you can see just around some of the edges of the sort of the trim. I've just put it just to give it like a little bit of a glow, and also just to outline the trim a bit more. But yeah, you could skip that step if you wanted, but I just added it just to help the trim stick out. And yeah, I'll just be going over some of the metal parts of this lead belcher. We're not completely covering it, we're basically not dry brushing, but pretty much dry brushing just bits of silver on, and that will just help let you know that those parts are metallic. And yeah, you would get some like sheen come through, even if the OSL is like completely blasting, just you would see like the sparkle of the silver come through. So yeah, we're just adding these details in. Yeah, it's looking really cool. Well pleased with it. But yeah, super happy with how it looks and how it's come out. I really do like this model, and yeah, the OSL is just a really fun technique to do. And I'm just going to be using this white scar to do his eyes. It's really hard to sort of capture the footage of me doing the eyes, just where he's on the juggernaut and the head's like farther forward than his head. The camera sort of focuses on the juggernaut as opposed to Lord Invocatus. But yeah, I just base coated his eyes with the white, and then yeah, just putting the Imperial yellow over the top of it. Yeah, just help him pop and look cool. And yeah, just be going around, just slightly around his helmet near the eye of the Troll Slayer, just to give it a little bit of a glow, just so his eyes look like, yeah, just like they're glowing a bit. Again, it's a step that you could skip, but it's just a little detail that I wanted to put in. And yeah, I did it a little bit thick, so yeah, just shrinking the lines a little bit again with the corn red. Again, it's like a similar effect where we're getting darker the further away we get from the light source. But yeah, looking cool. And yeah, just whilst I was there, I decided just to glaze a bit of the corn red up his horns as well, and just help blend the transitions on there a bit better. And yeah, I'll just be adding a final white dot in the centre of his eyes. And again, that will just help his eyes really pop and give it a nice little glow. Again, just trying to position it so you can see the Lord Invocatus, just where the Juggernaut's head pokes forward, so that sort of gets the camera's attention. But yeah, well pleased with how the models turned out. Looking super cool. So yeah, we're just adding some PVA glue to the base, and we're just going to be putting some of the brown basing material I like to use. Just a side note, if you wanted to make this, like, keep the model looking really bright and give it more contrast, I'd recommend doing a black base, and that would just give the model more of an impression that it was nighttime. And yeah, it would just help the viewer's eye sort of keep focused on the OSL. I'm going to be putting sort of a lighter brown underneath, and that won't offer as much contrast against the OSL and give it more of a daytime impression, but I quite like the way that looks. But yeah, I just thought I'd add that in if you wanted it to give it more of a nighttime impression, just to do more of a black base. I did also add some blood for the blood god onto his weapon and onto the Juggernaut's weapon, but again the footage for that was corrupted. But also, if you just want to see how to do that, I've also do that in my other videos. But yeah, it's basically you just get the blood for the blood god and then yeah, just sort of dab it on the weapon where you'd like it. Oh yeah, I just thought I'd add this in as well. So if you wanted to tame the OSL a little bit and give it a bit more of a sort of day feeling and bring the Juggernaut back to more of a black colour, yeah, I just got some of this black Templar and I watered it down with paint thinner, and yeah, just spraying it into the shadows and sort of around the transitions. But yeah, it is an unnecessary step, and if you're happy with the way it was, just don't bother with this bit.